Hi there. Today we're going to quickly go over how to start a business in the state of Georgia. Just give a quick overview of the process for filing for a corporation, partnership, or LLC, and a few other functions like name reservation, the application for certificate of existence, stuff like that. First thing I will say is that if you're planning on filing with the Secretary of State, I would recommend using their website under ecorp.com or org or something like that it's called. There's a bunch of links in this tutorial, but it's just really well organized and super streamlined, and just managing all your filing through them is certainly what I'd recommend. You can, however, draft your own applications, and they have a couple templates too for certificates of authority. Uh, but as I said, I would use their online platform. Um, Anyone who's planning on conducting business must do so in accordance with Chapter 14 of the Georgia State Statutes. You can click on this link here, and it'll walk you through, each different entity type and their different statutes. So, the entities that you can form in this state are corporations, LLCs, limited partnerships. For some reason, only foreign limited liability partnerships can be formed. So, pre-existing uh, limited liability partnerships from out of state who want to do business in Georgia can do so, but you can't actually form an LLP on the website or by drafting some kind of partnership agreement or whatever. Anyway, you can also file for limited liability limited partnerships, LLLPs. So if you click on each one of these links, they'll bring you to a separate tutorial that's specific to each one of these entity types. Um, Search for a name. So you're going to want to perform a name search if you want to see if the name that you plan on using for your business is available. It's necessary that it's unique within the state of Georgia in order for it to be accepted. What the website has done, and some of the other forms that they templates that they give you, is they'll have fields for your second and third preference in case your first choice has already been taken. To avoid the necessity of this step, I would just use a name search. We got a tutorial, if you click on this, on how to do that. It's really straightforward and it's super effective. Okay, so this is necessarily just like the process in which you would file for any business. It's super basic and super general. I really recommend going to our other tutorials um, to learn more about your specific business type. But first thing that sort of across the board you do is, as I said, perform a name search, business name search, and choose a name, obviously, first, that you're going to operate under. Foreign businesses who, a foreign entity, in case you're unaware of this, is one that has formed elsewhere and wants to do business in Georgia. Chances are they already have a name. So what you can do is make a name reservation. You can file this online or through a PDF form. It's going to cost you 25 bucks, and you can reserve the name for up to 30 days before filing. After that, it's open to the public again, and you're going to just have to keep on reserving it until you actually get around to filing with Georgia. So that's the first step. The second step is, of course, choosing what kind of entity you plan on forming. I'm sure you already have yours in mind, but if that's not the case, we have domestic corporations, foreign corporations, domestic and foreign LLC, and all partnerships, also domestic and foreign. Here we have, some online tutorials. That is, tutorials on how to file online here on our website, as well as the PDF forms of article of incorporation and whatnot. If you click on any one of these or any, each type of filing will give you a specific tutorial on how to do each thing. So yeah, decide on your entity. I'm sure you already have yours in mind if you've made it this far. If you haven't, click on these will also give you information on each one of these business entity types. Once you've filed either online, which as I said before is definitely recommended, or you've drafted, your articles of incorporation or printed out your certificate of authority, you're probably going to need to incorporate a couple other forms. Foreign entities often will have to provide a certificate of existence from their original region of formation. This is just to prove that you're in good standing and you're not, some um, organization which, hasn't filed its annual reports in the state of its initial formation. Uh, Domestic entities trying to form will usually have to provide a transmittal form, which is specific to their entity type. So attach one of those with your original form if you're not filing online, and mail it with a filing fee. If you're doing all this online, then none of this really applies. You're going to be able to enter in all the information into the web portal and also pay the filing fee at the end of your process. The filing fees are actually listed here. We've got 100 for domestic corporations and domestic LLCs, as well as both domestic LPs and LLLPs. You'll find that foreign limited liability companies and foreign corporations are the same price at $225. Same with foreign LPs and foreign LLLPs. The only one that's different is a foreign LLP, which is $200, still not that much cheaper. So this can be paid for if you're doing the online process obviously with your credit card. Otherwise, you're going to need to make a check payable to the Secretary of State for the total filing fee and attach it, and send all your forms and the check to this bottom address. And of course, if you're filing online, this does not apply. So that is sort of the general process that you'd take for filing with Georgia Secretary of State. As I said before, the name reservation is something you can do if you're a foreign corporation or any other business really, wishing to hold on to their name, make sure no one uses it before you come in to the state. You can do this online or paper application. We've already been over this. Certificate of existence is something, it's also like certificate of good standing or certificate of status. It can be used to prove that you are that you comply with state statutes, that you've remained on time with your annual registration forms, and you can get one of these online pretty easily. We have a tutorial for it here. It'll cost you $10. Below we have the different agreements for each entity type. So we have corporate bylaws, LLC, operating agreement, and partnership agreements. So what that is pretty much when you file for your articles of incorporation, if you're filing for a corporation, you give a certain amount of information to the Secretary of State, but nothing's really drafted that will serve as a guideline or a rule book for how you plan to operate your business. So things like the capital contribution of shareholders or even the power of the board of directors for that corporation won't be listed anywhere. So if you need to make a legal reference to that, there's no legal documentation to reference. This doesn't need to be supplied to the Secretary of State. Like each managing member should sign it, agree to it, and sign it, probably in that order actually, and then file it for their own personal filing. But it is a legal document and can be referenced if something comes up down the line. So we have templates for corporate bylaws, LLC operating agreements, and partnership agreements. All of them are pretty much the same thing, and we have the PDF and Microsoft Word format for both of those. We really recommend having your attorney read over our template and all the information that you have supplied before signing it and agreeing to it, because it's an official document. Employment identification number is something that all businesses must acquire if they plan on performing any kind of financial transaction. It can be done on the IRS website, so it's something sort of completely separate from the Georgia Secretary of State, because all businesses across the United States are going to have to get one of these. You can get it online, or you can get it through the PDF application. We have the links for both of those here and here. It's free, so that's kind of convenient, and it's obviously super necessary. Just like it's like a social security number for corporations and businesses. It's for tax identification purposes. But that's pretty much it. As I said before, you have a lot more links here to more detailed tutorials, but that's sort of an overview of what this website has to offer for the main page. I hope that was helpful. Take care.